guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is currently February of 2021, and the video that I have planned for you guys today is a small little channel update, just to show the current conditions of the current projects we've got going on, as well as projects hopefully coming in the future within this year. But first of all, I want to say, if you guys don't already know from last video back last year, I did take the month of January off. I know it's roughly about the middle of February now, but that's just because there hasn't been really anything going on. Personally, down here in North Carolina, the weather has been pure shite, so hasn't really been anything going on. But it's time, I feel, to start getting back into the swing of things. I hope that this year proves to be a little bit better than last year, because if 2020 showed us anything, it was a pure crapshoot. 2021, nothing much has really changed, but we do have a new president in office. Depending on what your political views are, personally, I don't really care. But personally, I don't think the past president was all that bad. But we'll see what this president has in store for us as well. Either way, we're just going to keep on plugging and chugging. With that being said, let's get outside, freeze our butts off, and well, let's make some content. Alright, so guys, right out the gate here, within all the mess that is kind of piled up out here, you will see that there is a Yerf dog. It is finally in the shop, and we're going to be starting to work on that a lot. Fixing to do a whole build series on it. If you have not seen the video that I made a couple videos back, with me explaining the build and what I'm wanting to do with it, please go on the channel and find that video and watch it, because if you don't, then it's not going to make any sense going forward with how I'm going to do things. But this is the Yerf dog, obviously currently piled up with a whole bunch of trash and stuff, but we're going to get all that cleaned off, and I've already gotten a couple parts for it, if you can already tell. Speaking of that, I picked up the windshield that I'm going to be putting on it about a month ago from a guy up in Linwood, and these seats actually came from the local pull-apart in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They came out of a late 80s, I believe it was, late 80s, early 90s Toyota pickup. So we are going to be reviving those, obviously cleaning them up, putting some seat covers on them just so it hides all the ugliness, and just send it. The WJ. With what I'm doing with work now, unfortunately, I'm probably going to be getting rid of that sometime soon. It is not for sale currently yet. It was, but then she started having some drivetrain issues. Not entirely sure what, because I am uneducated when it comes to automatic transmissions. I will get into that here in a second. But the XJ, Project Overland, Tilly, XJ, Dirty Bird, whatever you want to call it, she has been running absolutely fantastic. Absolutely no complaints whatsoever, which is good. I shouldn't have to with all the money that I've dropped into this thing. But any rate, she has been nothing but a trooper. Have not been nothing but impressed with this. We're just going to keep on doing it. But also, if we go over here, this has been the current daily driver. This is partially my dad's, partially mine, a little 96 Dodge Dakota. It's got the 2.5 liter, which is actually, if you think about it, it is the same motor that they put in the XJs back in the late 80s to early 90s, before they discontinued it. So, but I have been daily driving this because this is going to be my next daily once I get rid of this. It's kind of already been my daily because I've had to park this, but I love her. She is having some issues currently also. I'm going to start having to daily drive Project Overland, but this thing, we're pretty sure the oil pump sending unit, you know, what controls your oil pressure gauge, pretty sure that that's what's going out in it. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you updated. But this, let's see if it's locked. Of course it's locked. I don't have the keys, and I don't feel like going back inside until I get done with this video, but if you will look at the shifter, it is currently in two-wheel drive. This is a 2004, so it has the Selec-Trac transfer case. So I was currently getting, well, not currently, about a week ago, I was getting this thing out, and obviously it is sitting in a giant-ass mud hole. So, of course, I had to put it in four-wheel drive part-time, just a notch back from the two-wheel drive slot over there, the part-time four-wheel drive. She went out just fine until I went to put it back into two-wheel drive. The shifter is obviously still in two-wheel drive, but the transfer case is still in four-wheel drive part-time. So I have got to do some research on that because, well, she don't like to turn very well right now. She'll turn fine in the mud and the loose stuff, but once you get that thing out on pavement, it does not want to turn for anything. But that is that. If y'all have any suggestions on the WJ, please let me know out in the comments. Because, like say, I don't really know anything about automatic transmissions. I know a lot about manuals because they're simple, but automatics, I'm a little bit stupid. The shopping rod is still here. She is loaded up on the trailer. She has been loaded up on the trailer for about 2 months now. And that's simply because I have not taken it to its new location yet because I'm lazy. I loaded it up on the trailer and I just got busy with stuff and she just was here. I even pulled the trailer out because I finally got a little bit of time over one weekend to take it, and of course that got filled up with other stuff as well. And actually no, I think the weather was bad that weekend, I'm sorry. But either way, she's still here. Hopefully this weekend or next weekend or whatever, whenever I have the time, I will take it to its new storage location so that I can free my trailer back up, because that would be nice. And so now that brings us to the shed. We currently have the Sears Suburban, my 1987 model. I have had someone in the comments saying that the GT 19.9 is actually an older tractor I forget, I think he said it was somewhere in the 70s. But, I mean, I've done plenty of research on these Suburbans, but this right here is the serial number and everything, if the camera will focus. I don't think it's wanting to. Either way, that is the serial number, and I pulled the numbers off of that, and I actually went to the Sears Parts Direct website, and I got in touch with one of their service representatives, and I had them run the serial number on this exact tractor, and they confirmed that it is, in fact, a 1987 Sears Suburban GT 19.9. So, just for information, probably completely useless, but it is what it is. Still have the little homemade lawnmower crane tow truck attachment thing on it. The 500cc Honda, it is doing stellar. I have not had any issues with it. I better not, with as much money as I spent on it as well. It is not cheap, but I've actually had to use that. I have not cranked the Suburban in probably 3 months. I've just been using that because I love the all-wheel drive. But it is doing awesome. And over here, there's a whole bunch of scrap metal, radiator, brake rotors, car rims, bunch of more brake rotors, car rims, wheel hubs, shocks, control arms, you name it, it's probably here. The reason for that is that I will go over this in a future video, but myself and about 2 or 3 other Jeep clubs here in August are going to be participating in a miniature Jeep invasion, Jeep jamboree of some sort of like that. And we're going to have several vendors, a whole bunch of other stuff. Like say, we will go more into detail when the time comes closer. But I have been elected to help with making the custom trophies. So I have been collecting scrap metal so that we can throw some trophies together, and it's going to be pretty rad. But also, that's aside from the fact that I do have a scrap metal side gig that brings in money for the builds as well. I have not showed this tractor on the channel before. This is a new tractor, but I actually picked this up early 2020. So I've had this tractor has probably sat in the same location for just about a year, I would say. But it's just because things have just been spitballing and just whatever, and I just haven't had time to really focus on this thing. But this thing is one of them stamped chassis Murray's 90s model, of course, with a Husqvarna hood on it, just because I didn't have nowhere else for it to sit. But this is going to be a new project coming to the channel, probably mid to late spring. And not saying much on it now because I'm keeping it a secret, but I have been looking at some of the off-road mowers. I'm getting back into the off-road mower community with this tractor, and I'm going to try to do something suspension-wise that, as far as I know, nobody has ever done on one of these mowers or any mower in general before. So I will keep you guys wondering what that's going to be here until I make that video. But if I can come over here without tripping or falling on anything, I have actually picked myself up a hood which actually matches these bodies. So we will be full on that project once we get the go-kart done. And this tractor. This tractor I actually picked up late December of last year, which is going to be our next project after we get the Yerf Dog done. So it's going to be the Yerf Dog. We're going to start flipping this Murray, fixing it. The deck is about beyond shot. So that's what that deck right there is for. We've got to put the engine or whatever cover back on it. And the transaxle in that one is bad, so the owner threw in a free transaxle for us. So we will be getting that done and that out of here. And this, whatever this is actually a mini tractor that is my grandfather's, that I guess inherited from him. Still alive, but I don't know when exactly we will be working on that. That is not really a priority just here, but sometime I'll go over the information on that once we get to actually working on it. But yep, that's pretty much the condition of everything at this current moment. Like I say, nothing has been really going on because it is winter time in North Carolina, which means the weather apparently has the right to be pure shite. Not much a fan of winter weather at all. I hate the cold, but it is what it is. We tolerate it and we move on. So just wanted to make this video to just to get things rolling again. But yeah, if y'all like this video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you're stopping in for the first time, just if you are, if you would consider hitting the subscribe button, that would be highly appreciative. And well, until next time, I'm going to go back in the house and we're out of here.